Good morning guys, Sully here, and I'm out on safari again today. So if you look to my left hand side, it is such a gorgeous morning today. Have a look at that. So yeah, today is a very gorgeous morning. Like you can see the beautiful golden light popping up from the horizon. Now I'm going to be heading out to go and see what I can see. I am quite hopeful today that we'll tick a lot of things off our list. So I want to try and head in the direction where we looked for the rhino last time and hope that we find it. So that's the last thing I don't think I've found on my own yet. So I mean on the channel alone. So the issue that we're currently having in the park is that the grass is too long. So even sightings for different cats and such have become incredibly difficult to search and find them out. Like yesterday, Faulu was seen and she just got down from the tree and disappeared. So the grass is just too long at the moment. I hope you guys do enjoy the content and like, comment, subscribe. So all the roads in the Mara were just recently completed, but unfortunately we've had some torrential downpours, and what that has caused is that the road itself has turned into a marsh, because we had a lot of sort of like natural springs pop up in the middle of the road. So we have to take a lot of detours, so it makes our trip for a little bit longer as we're moving through the areas. So it just shows you how much rain. Okay, so we've come into a very quiet section of the park. This is the perfect habitat for the rhinos and also leopards and lions. They spend a lot of their time here. So this is an area where we typically find a leopard called Bella 2, and we also find the paradise pride here quite often. So if you've ever watched the movie African Cat, that was filmed exactly here. So this was the area where they'd filmed it. And so you see these rocky outcrops that we have, like the one to my left hand side, the one in front of us there, all of these areas, and then you have a big open plain like this, which is sort of marshy. So this is the perfect habitat for the rhinos. So what they do is when it gets too hot, they'll move out of these open plains and then into the rocky outcrops where they can get a lot of foliage. You can see like this one here. So because the type of rhino that we have here is a black rhino, and black rhinos are browsers, not grazers, so they love these bushy areas because they can get a lot of their forage from there. So that's what they'll do. So I'm meandering along this area, keeping my eye out for leopards, rhinos and lions, and I've spotted some elephant way off in the distance. So we'll see if we don't find anything on this side of the river stream. We'll find a way to cross over, get to the other side and go and look for these elephants. Time to continue and see what we can find. So I want to show you guys the force of water. So this culvert was fully operational and everything just a couple of weeks ago, and then just about a week or so ago, then it sort of just collapsed. So you see the force of the water. It may look very calm right now, but when it rains everywhere up there, this becomes like a full-fledged river. So this is a small stream, and we had 3 of these coming across like this, and the water came with all that force and just washed everything away. So this is one of the challenges that we face during this time of rain. So that's been washed away. So that means now we had to create another crossing over there just to be able to get past. But yeah, it's crazy amount of water at the moment. Okay, so the sun has just come out. It's a very good sign for us. That means that the cats, because usually whenever it's cold, like how the morning was this morning, they'll sleep in the grass. So when they sleep in the grass, they don't move. They sort of like huddled up. And when the sun starts to come out like this, then they start to get up and start to become more active. So that's what we're hoping for now, that maybe the cats will start moving, and also the rhino would do the exact same thing. So we're hoping that, well, we'll find them meandering about in the bush, in the plains. So let's head in that direction. So we've just come across this herd of elephants, and they're acting very, very weary. So it's like they have a few young ones in the herd. They've got that super tiny baby who is suckling, and he just ran off. So they're moving very quickly. So if you look at them, they're just moving across the landscape very fast. So from the other side where we were on the opposite side of this sort of like valley, and down here there were some bull elephants. I don't know if it's the bulls which are making them move so quickly. Now we have come towards the end of the Paradise Plain. So this is sort of where the Paradise Plain ends. It starts all the way as far as you can see, coming all the way down like this, and it ends around here. So now we're approaching the area in which we call the main crossing, which is just down here along the river here. So today we'll be going right up to it, and we'll also be meandering alongside it all the way to the area where we should hopefully find a rhino. But I'm hoping this weather holds up, but I can see the clouds have come back, so we'll see. Okay, we've approached one of the crossing points, which is known as Dusty Crossing. So as we're sitting here and watching, I'm looking at some hippos, and on the other side I have seen a herd of Thompson's gazelles. You see them there? So they're just hanging along the edge of the river there. And then on this side, we've got some impala. So now they're both looking at the river very keenly, like they wanted to cross. See now that they have decided that they don't want to cross the river, so the Thompsons are going up and the impala is going to the left. This is the Mara River. This is where the Great Migration will cross, specifically here. So you see this very wide area here coming across to this side here. So like I mentioned before, this is called Dusty Crossing. It is infested with crocodiles, although you can't see the crocodiles right now, but the sun has just come out. So since the sun has just come out, this is when they'll start to come out and bask in the sun. We do also have some hippos in the water as well, but they seem to have gone underneath as well. Okay, so, whoa, that was quite bad. I don't know if I'm covered in mud at the moment. So I've just washed my hand, I was coming to wash my face. So that was a little bit rough. Just towards the end, I had to put the camera down so I could quickly get out. But what had happened was I had fallen into some older tracks. So you see on the left. So I'm supposed to put my leg, one of my wheels outside of the track. On this side, outside of the track, and one in the middle of the track. So that way getting stuck is very difficult. But at the moment, I nearly got stuck over there because it was a little bit deep. So even over here, you can see this water is flowing. So this water is coming out of the ground. It's crystal clear, and it's quite deep. So it's quite muddy and quite deep. And then that's the old track there. So that's very mushy. So that's the mushy stuff. So if you go in there, So if you go in there, see the phone is covered in mud at the moment. So like I was saying, so if you go in there, then you're probably sleeping, and even the ground, it's a little bit spongy. So I have quite a distance to go. I have about 1 kilometer of rough road to pass through to finally get to the main road, and then start moving on. But crazy, yeah? It's a lot of fun. I enjoy this. Finally made it to the main road. Whoa. That was crazy. Okay, so now decision time. Do I go down that way or do I go straight? I think the sun has become quite hot. So I think I will just go straight. We'll head straight in that direction. And we'll find a nice place to have breakfast where we can watch the entire open plain to my left. Okay, so this is the best vantage point for the rhino. And how I know that is that we often see them over here. So you see in this area here, also near where those elephants are, and then he spends his day during the day inside the bush. So they usually spend the daytime feeding in this one bush area here, and then they continue on into the plains there. So that's why we stop. That's why we've stopped over here. So that we'll stake it out. We'll sit here. I'll have my breakfast here. I'll remove it out of my small little basket. So I'm gonna have my breakfast here as I sit and wait for the rhino to pop out. Okay, I've just finished having my breakfast. We ate breakfast just over there. Now we've come across this way, heading into this direction. So this tree directly behind me is where we had the Salas boys that day. We had all 3 Salas boys. They were under this tree here. And the warthog kill was just over here. So, yeah. So you never know. Every single day is different out here. Some days they're a bit quiet like today. And some days are very eventful to the point where you think it's like the best day you've ever had. So it's nature. So some days you'll come out nothing, some days you'll come out and everything. So let's continue on. Let's hope that nature is on our side and we've got a bit of luck, so we can go and try and have a look if we can see some lions, hopefully, because we're heading to Bilashaka. So Bilashaka is known for having the marsh pride of lions there, so we're going to have a look if we can find them. I haven't heard of anybody who has said they've seen them, so it's going to be up to us to see if we can find them. So let's continue on. Let's go see what else we can find. Okay, so we've just come across this herd of buffaloes. They're all very curious, they're all staring at me. So you can see them there. So they formed like a wall, and they're coming a bit closer just to see what I'm doing. So some of them have already started getting a bit comfortable, they've already started sitting down. So it's very interesting to see them. It's also very good to see them. So if you ever want to know the health of reserve or a conservation area, you count the number of buffaloes and other herbivores, but mainly the buffaloes, because they share a lot of the same diseases as cattle. So if there's a outbreak of any sort of a disease from cattle, they'll spread to the buffaloes very quickly. So what tends to happen is that their population will get hammered. But to see breeding herds like this of this size, so this one is about 400 in number, We have a number of them now, expanding to different areas. So they would have all started from here and then spread everywhere else. So it's always interesting to see them. To see their best friends, which are the egrets. So the cattle egrets, the white ones. So they love having them around because they help keep them clean from parasites and such. And also the egrets will warn them if there's a predator or anything coming in. The other thing that they enjoy about being near the buffaloes is as the buffaloes walk. Sorry, I'm saying buffaloes so often. As the buffaloes are walking, they're flicking up different insects out of the grass. So all these egrets will start picking up those insects as the buffaloes are passing through. So something that you'll spot straight away is the difference between the males and the female buffaloes. So you look at the boss, which is their horns. The females tend to have a very skinny boss, and also there's a gap between the horns themselves. Then you have the males where the boss is connected and it's very well defined, and mainly because the boys are the ones who are in charge of fighting and protecting the herd. So usually you'll see the boys on the edges of the herd when the herd starts moving. When they're sitting like this, everyone's sort of spread out. How amazing is that? That oxpecker came right. It was a juvenile oxpecker, a red-billed oxpecker, and he came right up. He was sitting literally right there, and he was just staring at me. And I was fascinated that even when I was moving and touching the camera, he didn't react at all. So I find you usually don't see things like this. And also, they're really enjoying themselves. They're on the roof right now. You see them there. There's another one. So you can see they're just flying around. Okay, so we've caught up with some members of the marsh pride. We're just all sitting there. So the whole pride is there. Okay, so I think this is the best sighting we're going to get of them. So they're very wary at the moment. Every time a vehicle starts, every time there's a lot of movement of vehicles. Every time there's something like that, what happens is the lions become a little bit weary. And that's because recently they had another instance of human-wildlife conflict. So after that incident, they've become a little bit weary, but they'll calm down over the next couple of days. But yeah, so what we have here is the single subadult male who is sleeping in the middle, and then we have the other lionesses surrounding. So I don't see Dada here, which is the lioness who unfortunately got injured during that altercation with the herders. So she's just somewhere about. She was seen this morning walking around, and she's sat in one of these bushes, but we don't know which one exactly. But yeah, so let them just relax and sleep. And I think this is the best sighting we're going to get of them for today. After here, I think I'll go and try and have a look at some leopards. Faulu was seen, and also Lordrogolo was seen. So we're going to go and try and have a look if we can find the two of them. So enjoy. I think I've just seen a lion. There's a lone male lion under this tree, which is a bit odd, because who is this? And it is a very, very shy looking lion. See, there's a sub-adult male there. So this is very odd. This is one of the members of the Turpy Pride sub-adults, but the rest of the pride yesterday were in the distance there. You see see that? Oh, sorry. You see that house over there on the right-hand side, just there? That's where the rest of the sub-adult males were yesterday. So it's a bit odd to see him here. Why is he here? Because what I've heard today is that the pride has not been seen today. I was actually cutting a shortcut. Wait, I don't know why he's all alone. Maybe let's check the bushes and check the other trees. Maybe we can find the rest of the group. Okay, so I've just seen this elephant and he's got some massive tusks. He is slightly harassing these, the small herd that is there. So I'll get a little bit closer, but he's massive. He's a huge boy. I don't know. So he's right there. He's the one on the left. So I think what we'll do is I'm gonna wrap down. I'm gonna go down. They're heading in the direction of going down, so we'll head towards me from lower. Let me catch the road and keep going. These boys are very stinky. I can smell them from like a mile away. It means that they most likely must. He's the big boy. The problem here for photography is that the light is on their back, but this is a very big male. Let's see if this will be an okay sighting. So there they are. So you can see how massive this bull elephant is, and he's got some pretty big tusks for the Mara. We do have some boys who are slightly bigger than him in terms of length of tusks. You can also notice that one tusk is slightly shorter, his left tusk. So that means he's a left-tusked elephant. I did mention that they were quite smelly. That's because they're in must. And what must is that the testosterone levels are about 160 times the normal level. So they're incredibly aggressive. But he is a calm bull because he is mature. If young bulls are going through it, they're becoming... So you can see the adult female is very wary of this bull. So she's actually putting herself between the bull and the calves just to make sure that the bull doesn't do anything towards the young ones, so charging them or hurting them in any way. So she's just keeping herself in between them to mitigate any sort of conflict. Okay, so I got caught by a rainstorm. I was trying to avoid it. So I was trying to gun it straight back to camp, and I was about to mention that it was gonna rain when I was on my way back, but then I was like, I don't know, I don't want to jinx it. I tried to avoid it as much as possible, so I was driving out, and then as I was driving out, I thought that I should probably just film and say that I'm gonna get wet, but I didn't want to jinx myself. And then, well, I got rained on anyway, so now I just have to wait until it stops raining, and then, well, we can continue on to camp. So that's where we're heading to now. This rain is perfect for Folu. This would wake her up like in a snap. But I'm afraid that the river level might rise in a snap, literally the same way. So I want to try and get out of the dangerous spots as much as possible. So yeah, so we'll start heading back now. Okay, so after the rain had just started, it switched direction straight away and it started pelting down inside like literal like hailstones, and I was trying to record everything, and every time I would touch anything it would just keep slipping because everything was getting wet. So anyway, I quickly rushed, got to my room, got to my yes, we would call it a room, my room, which is just down there, and I had to rush, and this is not the normal road. I just quickly got into wherever I could park at the closest point, jumped out and ran straight to go and have a shower because it was freezing cold. So quickly had a shower, changed my clothes, wearing an extra thick shuka right now. Now I'm heading up to the lounge and going to sit by the fire and change my shoes because the other shoes got wet, my hat got wet, everything was just drenched. Even I'm lucky the camera didn't get, the bag didn't let the water through, so, but I've just left that in the room. So now heading up now, But go and see Morty. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a little bit more boring than it usually is, but it was good nonetheless. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed.